welcome back to Uverses. Today we are covering Scream 4. Unfortunately, Wes Craven's last film due to his passing, who directed many films including the whole Scream franchise up until this movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Hills Have Eyes, and many other films you may know. In this movie we are shown the rules of a reboot and a whole lot of gore due to being in the Saw era. That being said, let's get into the movie. Open the movie instantly to a Ghostface call, which freaks out two girls. One of them does the smart thing and tries to lock the door, when the other does the not smart thing at all and tries to open it, which leads to both of them getting stabbed and killed. That was pretty quick. And then the title card is played as well, which is Stab 6. Anyway, we see two blonde girls watching this film when one immediately stabs the other into the Stab 7 opening. We see two more blonde girls, and I'm hoping this is an actual Scream 4 and not Stab 8 or something. Pink girl, who I think is called Jenny, goes upstairs and prank calls the other girl named Marnie. Marnie is heard gasping over the other line, and I'm just going to say this is where Ghostface actually kills someone in the actual Scream 4 movie. Jenny starts acting with main character syndrome, which is quickly taken away when Marnie is chucked through a window and scares her. Jenny tries crawling out the garage door and gets reverse Tatumed when the garage door crushes her back. And let's be honest, obviously she don't survive when Ghostface attacks her. She could have survived this by calling the police instead of acting like she could 1v1 Ghostface as if she was Mike Tyson. Or maybe she could have stopped turning around every 5 seconds so Ghostface didn't catch up to her. We can see our favourite final girl, Sydney, who actually isn't traumatised by the events of last movies, but she actually is writing a successful book, which we see is on Dewey's nightstand, who actually is with Gale this time, when sadly Courtney Cox and David Arquette had split up in real life, but they are still friends. Kirby, not the cute pink one, speeds past Dewey while she was picking up Jill Roberts, who is Sydney's cousin. Dewey doesn't cheat on Gale with this totally important character named Deputy Judy, but he definitely does cheat on his diet with her delicious lemon squares. Ooh. Gale is trying to be inspired with Orion, but can't beat her expectations, which is so realistic. So she basically rage quits for a bit, which is also so realistic. Here is our list of new victims from the main group, such as Jill, who's supposed to be our new Sydney, Kirby, who actually is our new Sydney, Via, who is our new Tatum without the hypnotising skirts, Robbie, who is the new Randy since he's a nerd and I can't say his name properly, Charlie, who is a nothing character until the end, finally Trevor, who tries to be Jill's boyfriend but instead growls at Robbie, which he learnt from Alpha Male Classes 101. Gale meets up with Sydney, and I genuinely believe that my glasses were dirty until I realised that's just how the film looks. Dewey finds a phone that was involved with Jenny and Marnie's murders in Sydney's car, and the crime scene is officially discovered. Deputy Judy becomes a teacher's pet for Dewey when he doesn't allow Gale to investigate with him. Jill, Kirby and Olivia reveal to the police that they were called by the real Ghostface, which happened whilst they were in Kirby's car. There's a character I forgot to mention called Rebecca, who I will mention here since she's basically Gale from Scream 1, but worse. Dewey and Sydney have another sibling moment when he quotes a book, which is just so wholesome. This is why we love Honeydew. Trevor sneaks through the window to see Jill, which Sydney sees, reminding her of Billy. Deputy Judy shows Sydney her favourite Babadook impression, but also shows herself as a killer or a red herring. Kirby and Jill are watching Shaun of the Dead, good pick, where Jill fake Ghostface calls Olivia, but then Kirby gets a real Ghostface call with his usual threatening tone, saying he's in a closet. Kirby checks the closet, but he reveals that he's not in their closet, he's in Olivia's. She is murdered so brutally for a Scream film. I actually feel bad. I guess she could have survived this attack by maybe trying to get away more, like fighting the killer or just running. But there wasn't much she could do since she wasn't expecting it. Ghostface slashes Jill, but he is then thrown down the stairs by Sydney. And then he does his usual teleporting, walking away thingy, which the cops literally mention the next scene. Gail isn't allowed to investigate due to Dewey. Say that 10 times quick. He does anyway, and offers to Charlie and Robbie to team up and catch Ghostface using her MME, Magic MILF Energy. Sydney finds Rebecca, who walks into the most sketchiest car park ever. So obviously she's going to get called by Ghostface and make many stupid decisions before she dies. She could have easily survived this by not randomly stopping, not looking around for Ghostface, by staying inside a car. There's so many options you had here. Rebecca's body is chucked off an entire building onto a car with a stab wound. But Dewey decides to check for a pulse since she's totally alive. Robbie predicts Twitch whilst trying to figure out who the killer is and talking about the rules of a reboot and torture P word I can't say, which are basically the same rules as a sequel. Kirby arrives at Stabathon, which Charlie and Robbie are hosting, which is where a group of teenagers watch the 7 stab films whilst wasted. Gail sneaks in the party and puts a camera in a group of drunk teens again. Gail, are you trying to get put on a list? Ghostface blocks out all the cameras anyway, which whilst Gail tries to fix it, she finds a camera which isn't her own, which Charlie said Ghostface might do. Gail is attacked by Ghostface, but is saved in time by Dewey. Detective Hoss and Officer Perkins talk about how cops always die in movies, and they get a slight bit too meta for me here. On his perimeter check, Detective Hoss sees the windows open in Jill's room, but when he goes to report it to Perkins, he's stabbed in the back, and then Perkins is quickly killed afterwards when he's stabbed in the head, which is scarily realistic. Could have survived this by actually doing their jobs when Jill's window was open by making sure that she was safe. Or they could have used their weapons against Ghostface when he started attacking them. The main group all meet up at Kirby's house, consisting of Kirby, Trevor, Robbie, Charlie, and Jill. Robbie wanders outside for some stupid reason, even though there's a killer out there somewhere, and then gets scared of the dark since I actually didn't hear a noise which he might have heard, and then walks into a hanging pot, which is something I would do. Whilst he's fixing his live streaming thing, he gets chased outside by Ghostface and killed after he lies about being gay, which never secures you in a horror movie anyway. Ghostface chases Kirby, Jill, and Sydney inside, where Ghostface and Sydney have a cool chase-like thing on the roof. Charlie begs to be let in, but Kirby and Sydney are actually smart and don't let him in. Then Ghostface somehow turns off the movie and ties up Charlie like Steve, Casey's boyfriend from the first movie. Unlike Casey, Kirby actually does well on the horror trivia, and Charlie gets to live, which he repays her by stabbing her and revealing himself as a killer. It's okay though, because Kirby comes back in Scream 6 alive. One of Charlie's hints to him being the killer was he knew the killer was filming his POV before it was common knowledge. Then the other killer is revealed when they stab Sydney and remove their mask to reveal that it's Jill. One of the hints that reveal that Jill is the killer is her window being open, since she's the Ghostface that killed the officers. That Jill is good at lying, since she's pretended to have a family to sneak bags of drugs through the border. Oh wait, no, that was a different movie. Jill plans to frame Trevor as one of the killers and shoots him in the dick before killing him, which is one of the kills that made me squint the most. Charlie's motive was to become the new Randy and actually date the girl this time. But Jill don't like this idea and would prefer to be the sole survivor, so she kills Charlie.
Yeah, old school, like Billy and Stu. Come on, baby, get it up. Come on. Shoulder me, get it up! Lord! That's not the way we rehearsed it.
You said it, Charlie, Billy and Stu. Trevor and you. But the media really loves Baby. As a sole survivor.
Jill actually gets the closest to killing Sydney out of anyone in the franchise so far. But let's be honest, it's somehow going to get worse in Scream 7 because the producers are in charge. And Jill has a fun scene where she injures herself, which hopefully don't get me demonetised, to make it look like she was the sole survivor. And she goes fully in by stabbing herself, pulling out hair and jumping through a glass table. She has to be one of my favourite Ghostfaces. Jill is told by Dewey that Sydney might survive, so as soon as he leaves, she rips out a needle in her arm, which is just crazy. Dewey and Gail talk about Jill and her having matching wounds, and then Gail realises Jill shouldn't know about the wounds that she has, which causes them to realise Jill is a killer. Jill does an absolute beating on Sydney and Dewey, which is probably why she's also my favourite Ghostface, since she knows how to fight back, which is probably in the Prescott genes. Jill gives Gail a final word, which is...
Clear. Clear?
Clear.
You forgot the first rule of remakes, Jill. Don't fuck with the original.
Even though Jill does die here, she still gets what she wants, which is fame. And then the movie ends. Now the film is over, I will rank the survivability of the film and how much I liked it. I think that Scream 4 is survivable for the average person. I believe that Scream 4 belongs in the A tier, probably below Scream 3, but above Scream 2. Even though Scream 4 isn't the best film in the franchise, I still enjoyed it since there isn't a bad film in the series. Scream 7 maybe. It's been you versus, and I'll see you next time.
Richie! Are you at the hospital?
Hello, Samantha.
No.
Richie can't come to the phone right now.
What?
He's finding out what happens to people who stick their noses in business that doesn't concern them.
Please don't hurt him.
I'll tell you what. You can choose. I'll only kill one.
What? What? Tara!
Who do you want to hear die?
No, please! I'm begging you. Please don't hurt them.
Really? You can't save your own sister? All you have to do is say, kill Richie.
No! No! Tara! Don't touch her! Please, I'm begging you.
Or
please.
say, kill Tara. And I'll make sure to hit all the organs I missed last time.
No! Fuck you! I'm begging